We want to make sure we're looking after our equipment. So here you can see a tarp that's been put away that's not going to work right. Weights aren't close to the edges. Weights are in the middle, and so people are actually been walking on the tarps that they shouldn't be. Too many in one side, not enough on another. We've got to make sure it's an even coverage right to the edge of the tarp. When you're taking the weights off the tarp, it's easiest to get the wheelbarrow, take the weights and put them straight into the wheelbarrow. Makes it easy to take it all apart. So now we're going to fold the tarp up. We need to fold it in half, and it's best to do this with 2 people. And then once we get it in half, we fold it like into pizza wedges until it's nice and thin. Okay, so the easiest thing is for 2 people to get a fair way around the edges, one on each side, so you can fold it over without walking on the tarp. So now we're going to fold it up. We're going to keep folding it in sections. And now with 2 people, we can lift it into the barrow to take it outside for storage. When you're bringing the wheelbarrow or the tarp by itself through the gates, make sure it's folded narrow enough that it doesn't get caught on any of the wires, because that can actually rip the tarp. Sometimes you'll find we have a second tarp underneath the main tarp to keep the clay dry. If you see this, just fold it up neatly, keep folding it into a nice package, and then take it off the field and store with the other tarp. I want to focus on not actually walking on the tarps, and the reason being, even if you've just got sneakers and not cleats, there's actually rocks that are on the ground here, and the rocks, when you walk on them, are punching holes into the tarps, and therefore we have to replace them too often. And it makes water come onto the clay batting boxes. So at the end of the day, we're about to put the tarps back on home plate here and or the mound. And you might find that there's parts of the clay that have been dug out. This is a normal part of playing the game, but we just like you to notify us and let us know that it's about that. So there's an email you can contact at Sports Ops, and we'll then be able to get it repaired. Okay, once again, the last person at the last game of the day, we need to tidy this area up before we put the tarps back on. This can be done with either the screed or the rake again, just giving it a light rake over to smooth things out. I'll show you with the rake. Making sure you don't rub over the chalk, you're just missing all that. And that you're not rubbing anything onto the grass. Okay, take the first top up to protect the batter's boxes. Okay, so now we're going to replace the batter's box tarp. This goes down first to protect the clay in the batter's box. It's best to have a couple of people, but just remember, please don't walk on the tarps. Once again, if you're using the wheelbarrow to bring the equipment out, this tarp's quite big and it's better to use a 2-person lift to lift it onto the actual home plate. Okay, so unfold the tarp till it's back into the center point. So now all you do is just keep peeling the tarp out until you get to the semicircle point. Okay, so now we're going to actually take the last part out, remembering we don't want to walk on the tarp. So 2 people close to the edges where we're going to walk here, one on each side, and we walk it across. Okay, folding down the last part of the tarp, you can see here, we want to make sure the tarp is not touching any of the grass the whole way around. Okay, so now we can take the weights and we place them on the tarp. These weights need to be placed at every second brass eyelet right to the edge of the tarp. Every 2 eyelets to the edge of the tarp the whole way around. When when you're putting the weights down, make sure you place them. You don't need to drop them from any height. You can see here, we're in between two, but make sure at a minimum we're on every second one. If you need to put another one, that's fine. Now lastly, we don't want anyone walking on the tarp, so you can see in the middle there are no weights. There should be no need to walk out there. The reason we want to bring the weights right to the edge is if it sits out like this and the wind blows, it gets up under here and then it lifts the tarp up. When we have the weights right to the edge, it's very hard to lift the tarp up for the wind. We're at the end of the day, last team, you've got to put everything away and make sure everything's nice and tidy. You can see the bases have to be out and they're put away in this storage box. The tarps are on with the weights placed at every second eyelet right to the edge of the tarp. This happens on both the mound and at home plate. The base paths have to be broomed off and the whole infield area needs to actually have the deco matted. Once we've done that, it's ready to go home.